my name is Sofia, and today in this vlog I'm going to share a bit of the technique that I use to memorize lyrics. Now, this technique is applicable for all genres of music, whether you're doing death metal growls or classical arias, or if you're singing jazz or whatever you're doing. It might not be applicable for all singers because we're all different human beings and we all learn in different ways, but this technique has helped me a lot, learning a lot of material in a short span of time and really getting it to stick to your brain. So, do you want to get rid of that pesky sheet with little notes and lyrics in it forever? Stay tuned because I'm going to share how I do it and it might work for you as well. First of all, why is memorizing stuff even necessary? I mean, you can have your lyrics on an iPad, you can even synchronize the scrolling if you're fancy with apps, or you can just have a piece of paper, or maybe you're in the studio and you have a piece of paper with the lyrics written out in front of you anyway, and why would it be necessary? Well, there are some situations where having lyrics with you on stage is simply not practical. When you're doing a metal concert, you're gonna move a lot, and it just looks a little awkward if you stand there and have to look at a piece of paper. Also, when you memorize something and really learn it by heart and really take the material close to you, it frees up space in your brain because you don't have to read while also, for example, singing the lines in a studio or doing it at a situation where it's okay to have sheet music, like if you do classical music like I do as well. When you know the lyrics, your brain doesn't have to go oh yes, this difficult Italian word. You just know it. So it's really good to learn it by heart because it frees up processing power in your brain to do all the other things that's going on when you are singing a concert or doing a recording or other things that require you to perform without having to look at a piece of paper. Learning stuff by heart at least gives me more confidence when I get on stage because I really know that I know the material and I don't rely on it being in a sequence, and if I lose a word, I'll be able to find my way back. So memorization frees up your brain power to do the stuff that's important when you're recording or performing. It gives you more confidence, and it's just nice that you really know your material. Alright, so how do you do this memo trick? There's really no trick, it's all about technique like anything else in the world. So, the way I do it is that I don't memorize it as a sequence. Let's play a game, okay? What's the 12th letter of the alphabet? You have to count, don't you? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So when you learn something as a sequence, like you did with the alphabet, you learned it as the alphabet song, or however you learned it, you learned it as a sequence where you can't just pinpoint the placement of the elements just like that. You rely on one event triggering the next. If you do that with song lyrics, in the case that will happen to you eventually in your life, you will get lost and you'll have to rely on that sequence, but you've lost your footing, so you don't know where you are in the structure. So it's gonna, it's gonna screw you over. You have to understand the structure and placement of each word and each line, and then you can easier return back to it, find your way back, and you won't ever get lost again. The thing I do is that I break down the song into sections. I don't just blindly listen to it on repeat. I don't just put it on in background when I'm doing dishes. No, I sit down and I analyze the song. I go, okay, here's an intro. This many bars. Cool. There's the first verse. Okay. It's a bridge. Chorus. Some other part that's not a chorus, and not a bridge, and not a verse, but that's some random lyric thing. I'm going to call it blobfish. And then there's this, so I create these structures for the song, and then I write it down. I take a physical piece of paper, and I write down on the paper with a pencil, an old school pencil, what the structure's like. I don't have to memorize the structure as such, but I know, okay, this part comes after this part, and this before I started looking at the lines themselves. So, when I have the song structure written out in blocks on a piece of paper, I take another piece of paper, and I write down the lyrics with a pencil on the paper. Now, it doesn't work if you just type it on the keyboard, even though that's what you're most comfortable with, because writing it with a pencil forces your brain to form some neurological connections with your hand. You're doing the choreography of your hand touching, and it's something tactile, something that a screen doesn't give you. It doesn't give you the tactile element of it, and you want to learn this with as many senses in your body as possible. Then I have all this written down, then I match up the colors with the sheet I made with the song structure on it, and then I start learning the lines. And I usually don't start chronologically. I, for example, go to the second verse and start learning those, and I don't sing them yet. I, of course, also practice a melody and the lines and everything, but that's in another session. Here I only focus on the words, I only focus on the lyrics, and I say them out loud like I would with lines for a play. Now, I had some trouble memorizing what was going on in Straight to the Heart with Battle Beast, a song I did for the Power Metal Piano live stream. So I simply sat down and just went like, in the still of the night, hear my heart beating through. So won't you come and get what you've been waiting for? When the moon is high, I'll be hunting for you. And when the night is done, you'll be screaming for more, more, more. And that's not the same rhythm as the song is articulated with the music. It's not in pitch. It's literally like you would say a scene for a play or lines from a book or something. So you just separate it completely from the melody. Separating the lyrics from the melody also helps you with pronouncing the words. Now, English is not my first language, but even if it is your first language, it's a way for your mind to isolate the pronunciation and really try to be consistent. Do you say hard? Do you say hard? Do you say hart? This is going to help you when you sing, because it's going to sound so much nicer when you're consistent. It also forces your brain to make some connections with this chunk of words that will eventually become your lyrics for the song that you are going to perform and knock out of the park because you memorized all of it. You're also going to get closer to the content of the song and the lyrics by isolating them. Also try to figure out what is this song about. When I analyze a song, I always see it as a song is always happening with a character in a place. And the place can be your mind or somebody else's mind or a dream world or a bar or inside a pyramid or something crazy. And the character can be yourself. If you wrote it yourself, it can be some other you. It can be another person. It can be a fantasy character. Maybe it's not a human character. It can be anything because music has no limits. And when you sit down and analyze what is the situation this character is in and try to make it your own and figure out how can this apply to me, you will learn the lyrics even better and understand the song and the melody even better by only practicing this, because you get it closer under your skin, which is what music is all about, getting tactile. I don't just sit down and practice this for an hour a day. I don't have the patience for that, But the thing I do is I focus on one line at a time. So I say, okay, today I'm gonna learn the first verse of this song. So I go about my day and I just repeat it. I'm doing the disc just like, in the still of the night, hear my heart beating through. So won't you come and get what you've been waiting for? And so on. And then I stop and like, I'll be hunting for you. Okay, I'm lost, I don't know where I am. Don't keep practicing mistakes. When you know, okay, I couldn't remember the next one, don't panic. You just find your piece of paper with your color codes and you go, okay, when the moon is high, I'll be hunting for you. And when the night is done, you'll be screaming for more, more, more. So you practice that transition so you don't rehearse the mistakes. You don't teach yourself, oh, this is a dangerous spot in the song where I don't remember the lyrics. Just gently focus on getting the transition perfect, so at the end, it's just gonna be fluent. To sum it up, analyze the structure of the song, write it down on a piece of paper and color code it. Write down the lyrics on a piece of paper and apply the same color codes that you did to your structure paper. Learn the lyrics by repeating them as you would lines for a play or read sequences from a book. Don't practice them just while singing, but practice saying them out, pronouncing them. Practice small sections at a time and really get into it. Do not rehearse mistakes. Take a break, be gentle to yourself, and try the transition a few times so you get it right. And then finally, take a look at what's actually going on in these lyrics, what place, what character, and how does this apply to me or the context I'm in. And then, well, you're gonna have a fun time on stage, because you remember your lyrics and you are not scared of forgetting anything and you will never ever get lost again. Oh well, you will, because, the stage is fundamentally a chaotic space, but at least this technique has helped me learn 5 songs in a few weeks for the Power Metal Piano show, while simultaneously also having recitals for my school, while also having other stuff I'm doing in the studio, while also having a feature show with the Viking metal band Idaslit. There was a lot going on in the span of a few weeks, and memorizing your just makes it so much easier. So that's it for now. If there are other musician, lifestyle, vocalist tips you want me covering in this vlog, or maybe you just want a tour of my super cool studio that I share with my band Ethereal Kingdoms that you can check out on the internet if you like symphonic metal, then let me know in the comments below and I'll see you around.